morning, sweet friends. Do you remember your grandmother making an egg custard pie and how good it was? Well, today we're going to do that. We're going to make the old-fashioned egg custard pie. It's hardly got anything in it. But we're going to start by making the pie crust literally in our pie plate. You don't have to roll it out or do anything. It's so easy. And we're going to cook our pie crust just a little bit before we put in our egg custard in it. And I'll show you both. Now, your pie crust is in the third cookbook, but it's hard to find. I thought this morning that I'd never find it. And the reason is because we've got it on the onion pie recipe. When I decided to put the onion pie in my recipe book, which is delicious, but we're not cooking it today. I wanted to do it with the pie crust, and there it is right there. I'm going to read these ingredients to you, and then I'm fixing to show you how to do it literally in the pie pan itself, okay? Literally in this pan. This is what we're going to do. I got this when I visited Mark Lowry in Texas. My girlfriends and I went there, and he took us shopping, and we went to all this stuff. We just had the best time. But anyway, this is where I received this from Dina that lived near him, all right? Now, you use 1 1/2 cups of your all-purpose white lily flour. All-purpose. See where it says all-purpose in that black thing? Because it doesn't have anything in it. It's just winter wheat. That's it. And so this is what you want to use. All-purpose flour. 1 1/2 cups. Then we're going to use 2 tablespoons full of sugar, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 cup of vegetable oil, and maybe, we don't know if we're going to use all of it. We have to judge at the end. 3 1/2 tablespoons of whole milk. Now that's the ingredients. Now let's do it. So here's how you do it. You get your pie plate like this, and you mix the flour in it. That's 1 1/2 cups right there. You mix your sugar in it that I just read out to you. Sprinkle it all over too. Don't just put it. And you do not grease the pie pan. Pan. Whoop. Here's our little salt, a teaspoon of salt. I think that was a teaspoon. It doesn't want to come out now. I'm using the pink Himalayan. Don't y'all love these little bowls? They're a pretty little pattern. I love them. I love little bowls. All right. And now here comes our oil. Well, let me mix this up first. Let me mix this up. I feel like I'm a little girl again playing in the kitchen. I don't know if I told y'all, but one time I thought, if you could cook turnip greens, why can't you cook pretty green grass? Wouldn't that taste good? Mama didn't say a thing. She let me try it, and I didn't like it. I just went out there and got me some grass and cooked it. I thought, well, if a cow eats it, maybe I'll like it. All right, here's our oil. Vegetable oil. I'm going to pour it in, and I'm going to mix. Get all of it in there. Okay. So far, so good. We're going to mix it up in this little pan right here. Y'all, this is the easiest pie crust you'll ever make. The only reason I'm going to cook it just a few minutes before I put my egg custard in it is because I don't think that my pie crust will get done, because it's not going to take that egg custard too long to cook. But we've got our oven set on 375 degrees. Now, I've shown this to you before, and a lot of you did it, and you said it was the easiest thing you'd ever done. Well, the rest of you need to do it too. I get so tickled at the people who say, I'm scared, Miss Brenda. I'm scared to do it. Good Lord, y'all. Don't be afraid of stuff. Get in there and try it. What have you got to lose? Do it in your own private time so nobody will know. And then if you mess up, don't tell anybody. But you're not going to mess up. It's good. All right, look at that dough. We hadn't even put our milk in it yet. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to start, we mix it up really good now. Now we're going to put in, we've got 3½ tablespoons of milk. And said just put in a little bit at the time. All right, there's about a teaspoon. I ate 2 boiled eggs for breakfast this morning, and I thought to myself, since I loved stuffed eggs, deviled eggs so much, I cut my boiled eggs in half and just put a little dollop of mayonnaise on it, some black pepper, and a few pickles, and I ate it. I didn't stuff them or mix them or anything. I just put me a little dollop on top. It was delicious. I ate 2 of them this morning. Okay. Looks like it's going to be workable, y'all. Here's the rest of our milk. Let's put a little bit more. We don't know if we're going to need it all. But we need a little bit in there. All right. I think that looks like it's going to be enough. I probably got maybe a tablespoon left in that little thing right there. Whoop. Our oven says, hey, y'all, I'm ready for something to be in me. All right. We're about ready. We're going to mash this out now. If your pie crust seems a little bit sticky, and let me pull off my ring because I don't want to get flour all in that. That's why I don't wear much jewelry on my hands. I wear it like the church, I'll put something on. But I don't wear around the house. I wear earrings just about all the time. All right, there's our dough ball. See that? All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get me out a little flour. There's our dough. All right. I'm going to put a little flour right here in my bowl, just so I have a little bit to work with if I need it. Because if it's too sticky, sometimes it's hard to, I just put a little bit right here. And I just put the same flour we were using, white lily all purpose. All right, so I'm going to do my little fingers a little bit. My little dough ball. Okay, we've got us a nice little dough ball, haven't we? Look at that, how pretty. Isn't that pretty? Look. Wasn't that easy? There's your pie crust. My little pie plate's not very deep right here. So I might could get by with just using half of it. I don't know. Let's try and see what happens. There's my dough ball. All right, let me do my fingers again. All right, so here's what we do. Put it in the middle, like that. Start mashing it out. I'm going to need both of them. I might as well go ahead and do it. I want a nice crust. Mash it like that. You're spreading it out in your pan. With your fingers. Look at that, how easy. Have you ever? Y'all can do this. You can make you a chocolate pie, pecan pie, lemon pie, coconut pie. But today we're making the old-timey grandma egg custard pie. And you know why she made that? Because that's all she had. That's all she had, y'all. Back then, they had milk and eggs and butter from the cow. Milk, eggs, and butter, and chicken. No, from the chicken. And they had to make a pie out of it because they didn't have anything sweet. They'd have to buy their sugar or borrow it from a neighbor. All right, we're coming right along here. You want it about the same thickness all the way around, y'all. Like that. I'm going to take my thumbs down and work it around till it comes up to the top. And this is where sometimes it can be too thick. I'm fixing to show you right now in a second so you'll know. Right here in your pie plate, right around that part right there, around that where that starts coming up, sometimes that can be too thick. So fill of it with your fingers and press it back into the pie or press it up. But it doesn't need to be so thick right there. And that is your pie crust. We've got our oven set on 375. I'm going to put it in there and kind of get it started. I'll probably cook it about halfway. And while it's cooking, I am going to mix my egg custard up. Look at how I'm doing this a little bit. I'm just kind of just making a little tiny rim there. You could do this if you want to. That makes a pretty rim. But right now I'm just trying to, my pie plate is fluted anyway, so I don't have to do that. I'm fixing to pop her in. Okay. There we go. Wasn't that easy? Is that a blue spot right in there? Maybe I got it too thin. Where is that? Right there? Let me put a little bit, let me push it that way some. You want it as level as you can get it. But we did it exactly by the recipe. Oh, and did I tell you what page it's on? No, I did not. It's on 139. If you don't have my books, you're missing out, y'all. I mean, I've got, well, 300, almost 350 recipes if you had all 3 books, because there was over 100 in every book. All right, there we go. Let's pop her in. Now, if you were doing we've got it 375, it's going to cook for approximately 20 to 25 minutes. If you're making, say, a chocolate pie on top of the stove, then you're going to cook that the whole way. You're going to cook it and put your chocolate pie in it. But if you're doing a baked pie, like a pecan pie or my egg custard pie or something like that, that's why I'm giving it a little bit of a jump start. So let me clean this up and get out our ingredients for our custard pie, our egg custard pie, just like Grandma made. I didn't have a grandma. I had a granny and a big mama. Okay, let's mix up our egg custard pie, okay? I've got 4 large eggs. You know, I admire our grandmothers for making something out of nothing. They made something good out of nothing. They could take some eggs and butter and milk and add something that wasn't sweet to it. These are my mother's bowls. Do y'all remember this? That pattern. I've got the salt and pepper, the cream and sugar, 1 bowl, and I think a saucer and cup. I guess she broke all the rest of them. I don't know what she did with them. But I got them. All right, so I've got 4 large eggs, and you beat it up really good, y'all. You don't beat eggs by stirring. You go down and up and down and up. Now we're going to mix in 1 cup of sugar into this. Stir that around real good. One-half stick of melted butter. One-half stick. Come on, butter, get out of there. Every time we used to go to a family reunion or a church homecoming, somebody would have made a, did I see a shell in that? Let's see what that is. No, that's just where I didn't mix it up good. Somebody would have made an egg custard pie. And they'd be fighting over it at the end. All right, I've got 2 cups of milk right here that I'm going to slowly add. This is whole milk too, y'all. It's not any of that skim stuff. Now I'm going to add a teaspoon of vanilla. I can get it out of the little thing right here. Well, let me make sure that's a teaspoon. Yep, that's it. 1 teaspoon vanilla. And you put some nutmeg in it, but you don't put much. We're going to put this, where is it? This little one right here. And it is a half of a teaspoon. You don't need much of it. Just a touch. A half a teaspoon. I'm about out of it. Right there. All right, we're going to get our pie crust out. I let it cook about probably 15 minutes. We're going to pour this in. And I don't know how long it's going to take. Every oven is different, but I will tell y'all when we figure it out. And that's probably going to be too much for my pie plate. So what we're going to do is, I washed all my hot pads. What we're going to do is put the rest of it just in a casserole dish. See, that's not completely done yet, but it's getting there. So I'm going to let it cool, and then we're going to put that in it. And we're going to put this pie. I'm going to push my oven up onto 400. Bake. All right, we're going to go all the way up to 400 to cook our pie for just like 10 minutes. And then we're going to turn it down real low and let it finish. That looks pretty, doesn't it? See, it just kind of, it's not hard yet, but it's sealed. I guess you'd say it's sealed. So we'll be back and pour this in and just let this cool just a few minutes. Okay, y'all, our pie has cooled a little bit. It's not scorching hot anyway. And here is our filling right here. We've got it. And I'm going to ladle it in. Instead of pouring it, I'm going to ladle it in here. You see that? There you go. All right, let's ladle us some in here. Stir it up while you're doing it to make sure the nutmeg is... I did say nutmeg when I was telling y'all, didn't I? I meant to. I hope I said the right thing. I'll have to go back and look at my video, I guess. All right. I should have come up a little bit further on that side right there so it won't cook over. I want to get it all the way to the top, and I'm going to have to be extra careful putting this in the oven. I'll have it spilt everywhere, won't I? All right, here we go. Wish me luck. Can y'all see in that oven right there? All right, here we go. Go slow, Brenda. Go slow. Very slowly. Because it's sure wiggling around. Woo! We did it. we did it. Now what I've done is I got me out this little casserole dish because this weighed too much for it made way too much for that pie. So I'm going to grease this little bitty casserole dish. Y'all have one of these little tiny ones like this? Kate gave this to me one Christmas by one of my granddaughters. She gave her mama a square one and me a round one. I mean, her a round one and me a square one. Well, actually, it's rectangular. All right, so I stirred that up by a little leftover right here. I think y'all could get 2 pies out of this recipe. Easy, because look at that. That's a lot. I'm going to stick that in there and eat it like just a custard without a crust. You could do that too if you wanted to. Ooh, it'll be smelling like Christmas time in my kitchen. So, because when you start dragging out the nutmeg, you think of Thanksgiving and Christmas, don't you? Okay, it is now 10 minutes after 8 o'clock in the morning. And we're going to see how long it takes to cook this. It's 10 after 8. Don't let me forget it. Don't let me forget it. Do y'all see my pretty necklace I've got today? Let me tell you about it. This is a tooth. But before my husband died, I didn't ask him what kind of tooth it was. So maybe y'all could help me. Let me get us something to point with. Right, from right there down is the actual tooth. That's the tooth right there. Y'all can see it. See there where how it goes? This is the tooth. And all of this is the upper part of the tooth that is up in your jaw. In other words, it doesn't show. So, what kind of tooth is that? I know that these beads right here are handmade, beautiful beads, and I know that George loved them. It's got a piece of leather going around, and I've got it tied in the back to wear today. These are beautiful beads on there, and they're all handmade. They're made out of rocks. They're not glass or plastic. They're rocks. But here's the tooth. So is it a bear? Is it some kind of big cat? That's a big tooth. And that is a big thing right there. Anyway, I'm wearing it today. I'm wearing it even though I don't know what kind of tooth it is. You know, that's why, and I know y'all know this too. Before your parents die, y'all, and before your grandparents die, please ask them what you want to ask them. Ask them. And write it down. You think you're going to remember it, but let me go ahead and remind you. You won't. You won't. You'll remember parts of it, but you won't remember everything. Sit down with a notepad. Get comfortable in the den. And go talk to your grandmother and ask her all kind of questions, and then let her volunteer. When you ask a question to her, she's going to start telling you this other story. It won't necessarily be what you ask her. Write that down too, because that's important. That is important. But with modern technology being like it is, you could actually video your grandmother, but don't tell her you're doing it because she might not tell it all. And it's just for your little private knowledge. But write it down, y'all. It's so important. I wish I had... When I was a teenager, I didn't think about stuff like that. I didn't think about it. I don't remember asking my granny anything, hardly, except what are you cooking for lunch, for dinner? Who's coming? Are we going to church today, to the Spring Hill community or the Crossroads community? She'd go to both of them. I never asked her about her early life. I never asked her about who taught her to cook. I never asked her any of that stuff. And why not? Because I was young and didn't think about it. I didn't think about it. But now that I'm old, I'm thinking about it. Why didn't I ask them some stuff? I didn't even ask my mother and daddy some things. They volunteered a few things. But we need to talk and write down our family history. Whether you like your family history or not, that doesn't define you. It just tells you where you came from. But it's up to you to go forward. You can't live on the past, y'all. We got to keep moving forward. All right, we're going to let this cook now, and I'll tell you how many minutes. It was 10 after 8 when we started, and now it's 13 after 8. We'll be back in a minute, or a few minutes. I don't know how long. We're going to test it. Okay, y'all, I just got our pie out. It is completely done. You don't want to overdo it. When it talks about a jiggle in the middle, see, that doesn't have much jiggle in the middle, so that means it's done. You want a little jiggle in the middle. Especially if you're old like me, you need a little jiggle in the middle. All right, it is done. Our pie crust looks delicious. I know it's going to be good. I'm going to taste the one that's still in the oven that I put in that little casserole dish. It's not quite ready because it was thicker than this one. This is an old-timey egg custard pie. You have all the ingredients in your kitchen right now. The only thing you may not have is the nutmeg, but you just gotta have that. So run to the store and get you some nutmeg and make it. I'm boiling potatoes over there and eggs because I'm fixing to make potato salad here in just a minute. And I didn't let you see all that, but I've got my goodie all mixed up right here. I've got mayonnaise, onions, celery, and pimento in here. And I'm fixing to drain the potatoes, put those in here, then peel the eggs and put those in here. I've got 6 or 7 eggs over there that I'm doing. So I don't know why you call it potato salad. It's always got so many eggs as it has potatoes. Make you one of these if you want to be old-timey. Make you one of these in remembrance of your granny and your grandma and your great-grandmother and your big mama and nanny or whatever you call yours. I don't know what you call yours. But I'm Big Mama. That's who I am. I'm going to let this cool a little bit, and then I'm taking it to church today. I hope somebody likes it. Love y'all. Have a great day. And remember, this is Pastor Appreciation Month. And so appreciate you, Pastor. He's got a lot on his shoulders, y'all. Because to those who are given much responsibility, much is expected. The Bible talks about that. So remember that and do something special for your pastor this month. Love y'all. Bye-bye.